I came across this tonight. It was sent by my husband in February 11th, which is really nice. Kaballah number, Ocala, Florida. I was in Casanova, New York, and a lady that had known me for 20 years, um, Jane Carroll, set me up there because I went up there after he stole my horses and my pots and pans and my clothes, and his new girlfriend had 3 chins. There's no way that lady could fit into any of my cocktail dresses, let alone my shoes. Anyway, that's besides the point. He sent this to the public school because for 6 years I tried to get a divorce from Gordon Bricker Stafford of Stafford Farms. And in 2001, he told me he'd kill me and take my son. And rather than doing a knee-jerk Pavlovian thing, I just worked my derriere off. I thought content was more than justice. He told me all the time, and I didn't know. I knew his father vicariously through racehorses, Overskate, and Royal Chocolate, and a bunch of others, and appreciated him a lot. And I knew he had his 12 minutes of silence in Parliament in Canada, but I didn't know the real story behind the stories. And I do now, because I was married to this very short-sighted, and you have to feel sorry for Gordon Bricker Stafford. You know, he was raped by high Freemasons, and molded. They mold their children into being complete idiots. His elder brother, Howard Alexander Stafford, who got most of the millions from Stafford Foods, and he's been a heroin addict since I guess 1962. But it doesn't matter. The point is, they know the law. They don't pay taxes. You pay taxes. They break all the laws and get away with it because the low-leveled Masons in America that are dumber than autistic children, well, actually, autistic children are really intelligent. They, look it up. Look up Albert Pike. Read Albert Pike. You can find out for yourself. But anyway, I wanted to do this letter from February 11th. And he was living in his girlfriend's house in Ocala. And she also has 2 fake IDs, a dead man in Illinois that, thank you, Chief Roberts, found out for me years later. And my husband had a fake ID, his first fake ID. He was born in Ontario, and his first fake ID from Jack Stafford of Stafford Farms and Stafford Foods in Canada was in Texas, where the Bush family went from Connecticut. And if you look up Bush Sr.'s father, he was a Nazi. So I don't think I have to. Anyway, he was talking to the school that I put my son in, because I was homeschooling my son. Clyde Ross Stafford was homeschooled. I didn't want medications. And Casanova, New York, had a very small school, and small is good. So here it is. My wife, Tamara Stafford, asked me to send a note to clarify I give my blessing and permission for Clyde to attend any school. Sorry, Bill Gates' fly is after me right now. Any sport, any activities she wishes to bestow, however you want to pronounce that, upon my beloved son, Clyde, and that's not his nickname, Ross Stafford. Tamara is beyond encroachment of anything but bona fide opportunities, providing for Clyde's best interest and well-being. You know, sheeples, goyams, or whatever you want to call yourselves. I had, when my son was kidnapped in 2013, January 6th, at 9:30 at night, I didn't have one cop, not one sheriff, and the lawyers in Louisiana had me go back to New York, where we were living at the time. And Florida is a pedophile circle. Anyway, getting back to the letter. Since 1949, this is so funny. This is the funny part of the picture, because my super dumbing down Masonic husband is pissed off right now. That's why he did this, because he's above the laws like you are in. He doesn't. He owes the IRS technically over $400,000 or $500,000, but the IRS doesn't go after him because he's part of the Masonic club, like Trump and Bush and Clintons and all the rest of your idiots. But anyway, back to the letter. He's pissed off. This is why he lets his little scarf down, his little apron with the envelope over their dicks. Since 1949, Stafford Farms has been one of the world's leading horse training stables without a single infraction. So I'm little confused why I must assist Tamara with announcing our innocence before the suspicion of guilt. In Canada, we do it the other way around. For you idiots that may not, you're not idiots, you just don't study. Canada was a great country before World War II. And Canada still has some great people in it. But it's a socialist country. And so, you have to understand, Gordon Bricker Stafford was brought up by the elite family, kind of like the royals, the queen of shit. He even went to an elitist school there that Prince Charles went to for a while. And here's his second page. Oh well, perhaps it's the new world order which everyone wishes to roll over to. So scared of every shadow. If I might provide further assistance, don't hesitate to email staffordfarm@yahoo.com. Signed, his silly name. This is the best effing part of it. The Honorable Colonel Gordon B. Stafford, Kentucky Colonel under 2 governors. See, I saw that when I was married to him. And I said, what is this? You're not a colonel. My dad went to West Point and he didn't like it, so he went to the Air Force. He didn't like that, and he ended in the Navy, and then he ended in Hawaii being a ambulance chaser lawyer. But these people are programmed at a very young age, my father included, and it's really, really sad because Gordon Bricker Stafford didn't kidnap my son for, a couple $100,000 that my first husband, who is Portland Cement, I guess he gave him a couple $100,000 over many years. But he really sold him to the pedophile market. And now he's in another country. He's going to be 20 in January. And he's a drug addict. I mean, you would be too if you were fucked by a bunch of idiots up your butthole since you were 12 years old. And of course, they try to make them into their new market. And I think it's kind of funny that, that guy killed himself in high New York jail with cameras that happened to go off, and Queen Itless of England sacrificed her youngest son. Really, she should go after Prince Charles and her husband because they're much higher pedophiles. But anyway, you have to do your own research, and it's going to come to a close for information. It already has been coming to a close. I can't find things. When I homeschooled my son, it was really incredible, great internet. But now they have, it's kind of like the TV, a commercialized information box. But I wanted to show this because he has his Masonic idiot Honorable Colonel Gordon Stafford. It's pretty sad that a father sells his own child, his only child that I know of, Clyde Ross Stafford, to the pedophile market of rich guys. I'm Tamara. My maiden name is Plachek, and my grandfather's name was Ross. I gather him more than my Plachek name because they were Eastern European idiots too and worked for mafiosos and whatnot. And then I was married to a Stafford. But I love the gift of life. The gift. We were given a gift. And I'm not religious, although I know a lot about religions because it was stuffed down my throat. And amongst many religions, I went to private schools, and one of them was Convent of the Sacred Heart in San Francisco. And there are some good people, even within the idiot Freemasons. But, if you do your studies, they threw them out once upon a time, unfortunately. But they've been co-opted. Everything has been co-opted. Every religion has been co-opted for their one world order. And unfortunately, their main religion of the Kaballah and Vatican Jesuits is sacrifice. The Mayan Indians only duplicated it. But the Vatican and the Kaballah, it's written in the Torah, or the Talmud, actually. Kaballah. You have to study. Otherwise, what I'm saying, you're just going to think I'm stupid and crazy and all that. Yes, I am crazy about the victory of Jesus. Because he came back for all of us messed up hybrids. I don't care what part of the country you come from or what color you are. And that's why the Jesuit poop Francis said, it's okay, you can get close to every god and goddess, but don't get too close to Jesus. But most of you didn't catch it because you watch TV and you don't watch. See, they have to tell you the truth, but they know you're watching. They're like magicians in Las Vegas. They do a lot of smoke and mirrors over here so you don't really look at where the elephant came in, kind of thing. But it's time to grow up and take self-responsibility because you have, this is your last free will choice. After AI, you have no free will. And one consciousness is a total absurdity because you can't be creative. You don't have any free will, and you can't have any critical thinking. You can't decide for yourself. So, go back, study all the crap that a lot of New Agers and humanistic New Age religions are worshiping. Study why. And don't be afraid. Because if you have no fear, it's because, Jesus, when he died, he said, forgive them for lack of knowledge. He was so graceful. I didn't understand that when I was a little kid so much. But now, today, you take all the knowledge, because the curtains are down, and they're being torn down all the time. You need to pray in your heart, in your soul, not your brain, because we've all been programmed, for wisdom. And it will talk to you, not your brain. The frequencies from your iPods and your AI and the bringing forth of 5G and all that, you won't have a brain. Study 5G. And don't study their study. Study the real scientists that are still alive to talk to you. Anyway, you need to know this is coming to an end. Thank God. God the Creator. Not the God of this planet. God the Creator. And you don't have to be afraid. And all you have to do is have faith. That's the biggest thing you have to have. And believe me, nobody today in any programmed educational BS, whether it's medical, legal, or whatever, wants to know about faith. But faith comes from your heart, your soul, not your mind. So, God bless. God the Creator bless you. And I pray for my son and my daughter in a cult. And they only want her money because she's a trust fund baby. But I pray for Wall Street to fall all the time. Because when Wall Street falls, my daughter's free. She knows. They're just drugging her for her millions of dollars. So, if you want to study, follow the money. If you want to study, follow your heart too. Au revoir, Selah, Selah is how we spell it. But don't give up, because we're made in the real God's image, not this Masonic BS.